Hello, it's Jan here and welcome to my channel. In this week's video, home sewing a dress, a weaving update and a quick glimpse at some ceramic thrifted hauls that I made recently in Britain. The weather's been very cold and miserable lately, but just perfect for spending time in my craft room. I recently revisited my old sewing box and found two pieces of knitted cotton printed fabric. I got these, I think, over 10 years ago from Minerva. I think it was Minerva, so I'm just washing it and I hope to be using it soon to make some spring and summer tops or t-shirts. I wanted to sew my hour dress. I don't know if you saw it in the last video or even the one before, but I have a simple cotton dress to sew and it's supposed to take an hour. So I'm just sorting out my pattern pieces and I found that I had 3 pieces of the facing all exactly the same. I wasn't sure what to do, so in the end I just thought, just take one, use that, and we'll hope the best. Now the sewing is supposed to take an hour, but first I need to trace my pattern, which I've just done, and cut it out, and then I can put them on my fabric and cut out my fabric. While I was doing this, I did have some thoughts about dead stock fabrics. I've been looking for some to use because I felt that it was probably more ethical and sustainable, but I found that most of them that I like are way outside of my budget. As dead stock fabrics are supposed to be waste and they would have normally been thrown away, I just think about the high profit margin and wonder why the prices aren't more appealing to sewers like me on a smaller budget, a much smaller budget. As you may know from my previous videos, I do prefer natural fibres. That doesn't include viscose, which has a chemical heavy processing and has harmed the workers and their children. Just because fabric is dead stock doesn't necessarily mean that it's better for the environment. Some of the cheaper dead stock fabrics are synthetic, so they will at some time in their lives probably end up in landfill. As I don't want to use synthetics, unfortunately, this excludes those kinds of fabrics too. I want to manage my wardrobe sensibly and ethically with natural fibres, and I don't really want it overflowing with pieces that I don't really wear very often, even if I have sewn them myself. So I am going to sew what I need over what I want, although hopefully I can combine the two. Nearly finished cutting out my pattern here. I wanted to do this very carefully. I didn't really want to waste time having to go back and do things again. So as I haven't seriously sewn for a long time, I'm being careful with everything. That's it. Now to cut out my dress fabric. I'll just tidy up this mess first. Right, here we are. I have put my pattern pieces onto my fabric and weighted it down with some weights. They're just old-fashioned weights from scales. I don't have any fancy ones, and I've drawn round it, and I'm just drawing around the facing pieces now. And just do this very carefully. Again, I want to make sure that things are done as accurately as possible. Nearly done. I'm sorry if you can hear some strange sounds in the background, but my little dog is just having a sniff around the room as I do the voiceover, so I apologise. Now, I've ironed the piece of fabric to be used for the front. The piece had to be cut out on the fold, but I did see a video where a lady who'd worked in the industry for a long time said that they never cut on the fold. They always open the fabric out, and even if you save millimetres, because I also know that even millimetres can make a big difference in your sewing. So what I've done is I've ironed the fold out of my fabric, and I will draw around each half. I will draw around the first half and then fold it across, and then draw around the second half, and then just cut out the front of the dress, but not cutting out on the fold, if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Now, if you've enjoyed my video so far, please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget the notification bell, because that way you'll be the first to hear about my new videos. I am at this point in time feeling very excited about the prospect of sewing this little summer dress. I have double checked on my phone, I've double checked the needle size for the fabric, and make some last minute checks as to what I have to do. I have set myself a challenge with this to see if it actually does take an hour to sew this hour dress. I've just set my timer off. I set it for an hour and off I go. Now I am only going to time myself as I am sewing, or maybe pinning and then sewing. I've just restarted my timer because I had fusible interfacing. The pattern did say interfacing and to attach it, but I had iron-on fusible woven cotton interfacing, which I ironed on and stopped the timer, but I am sewing it all into place anyway. Now, natural fibres, as you all know, feel wonderful to wear, and there's something special about creating a piece of clothing that fits just right. I did have to make the bottom part of this dress a size bigger than the top part. I've finished off my edge with a zigzag, and I'm just checking the instructions. Now, I did find this part took me a long time when I had to attach the facing to the dress. I was trying to pin it at my machine, but I just had to go around and pin it on the table in the end, because I just wanted to do it more accurately, and I wasn't really giving myself the chance to do it properly. I didn't stop my timer, I don't think, at this point. I do love the idea of a wardrobe filled with garments made with care, and pieces that I will really, really cherish. Back to the sewing machine. I'm doing it very carefully, and this did take me a long time, much longer than anticipated. But I do think that accuracy matters more than speed. So if a dress is supposed to take an hour, I don't mind taking longer if I know that I can do it properly and it's not rushed. But this part took me quite a long time. I'm sure more experienced sewers would be able to whiz through this, and it would be just as accurate as me being slow. have 4 minutes 50 seconds left after doing this, and I need to grade my seams and then understitch the facing so that it won't roll out. Now in the blink of an eye my alarm went off, so I was nowhere near finished. I was still grading my seams at that point, so I set a stopwatch just to see how long it would take if I did the next stages, and an hour and 6 minutes later it was dark. I was quite cold in my studio, so I decided to finish. I was tired. I didn't even get to sew the side seams, and that's 2 hours and 6 minutes worth. I pinned them though, and I liked what I saw. The dress is a simple dress, just nice for the summertime. Here it is on my mannequin. It's a couple of days later because the next day I was out, so I couldn't do any sewing, and it's all finished apart from the fastening at the back, which is a loop and button, and the hem. When I sew, I do like to put the piece on my mannequin for a while. The mannequin's a slightly different shape to me though, but I'm very pleased the way the armholes turned out and the overall look of my dress, and so I can just imagine myself on a cool spring or early summer evening with my woven stole, just strolling through my village or sitting in my garden enjoying my beautiful view. But just look at the weather we've had recently. It's very gloomy, it's been very cold, not like you imagine in Italy at all, is it? What's on my loom? Remember in the last video I asked if you could guess what I was warping my loom for? I am trying out a tartan design in very fluffy fibre, and it really is difficult to weave. It's not an easy weave at all, but I'm really pleased with the design. I designed the tartan myself on a website called Thrifted, and you can design your own pieces and it actually creates the actual pattern, the weaving pattern for you. So I'm pleased with this. I've got quite a long way to go, but I'll keep you updated. Now, recently in Britain, as you've seen from my last video, I did some thrifting, and this was part of my haul. Denby, I absolutely adore Denby pottery, and we got 4 cups and 4 saucers in this blue colour, which matches a dinner set I already have, which was gifted to me by my children for £6. But you wouldn't believe it, we went into another shop in the same town and we found this floral Denby, beautiful, and we had 6 cups, 6 saucers, a sauce boat and a milk jug and a sugar bowl, and that set cost £10. So for just £16 I have 2 beautiful sets of Denby stoneware, and I'm absolutely thrilled. I used to love these. I was desperate to have Denby when I was younger, and now I have. So I will show you more of my haul, because I did buy a dress that I think I will be transforming into something else. So please check back on my next video. I've left a link below for you to buy me a coffee, which will really help my channel to grow. So please check that out if you would like to. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.